Welcome to this lecture on applications of rank of a matrix, specifically to the solution of a system of homogeneous linear equations. Now, one has to understand or distinguish between a system of homogeneous linear equations and a non-homogeneous system of linear equations. But a quick review about how rank should be used to understand and analyze such systems. We have seen from the previous lecture that rank represents the number of independent rows or columns of a matrix. And if a matrix has low rank, then it means that it has less number of independent rows or columns. One of the elementary problems that we attempt in linear algebra is to seek solutions of systems of linear algebraic equations. Now, this is one of the fundamental problems in linear algebra, which has got wide applications. But even though the problem may look very elementary, but when we work with large systems of data, then probably hand simulations or hand calculations will definitely have to be replaced with machine-based learning techniques. So let us start with the homogeneous system of equations. One can observe that we now have a system having m equations in n unknowns, all of them having a zero right-hand side. So here the decision variables or the independent variables are x1, x2, etc., xn. And there are three possible cases when the number of rows is equal to number of columns, in which case the coefficient matrix will be a square matrix. Case 2, when the number of rows is more than the number of columns, then that is called an overdetermined system. And the last case, the number of rows is less than or equal to the number of columns, in which case it's called an underdetermined system. The advantage with underdetermined system of equations is it will always have solutions, and specifically the number of solutions will be infinite. Whereas when we have a system where m is equal to n, there is no guarantee that we will be able to get a solution. The same thing may happen whenever we have more rows than the number of columns. There is a possibility of getting a solution, but there is also an equal probability of having no solution. Anyway, all these things will come out once we decide the procedure to find a way out. Now, when we take this system of equations, we can write in the matrix form as Ax is equal to 0, where A is the matrix of coefficients. The behavior of A determines the nature of the solution of the system. When we say behavior, the rank will decide the behavior of A. Now, a homogeneous system of equations will either have a unique solution, which is called the trivial solution, or it may have infinitely many non-trivial solutions. In other words, there can exist no homogeneous system without a solution. Whenever there are fewer equations than unknowns, as we discussed, it's called an underdetermined system. This system will have non-trivial solutions, which will be infinitely many. Of course, we can also look at many other ways of understanding the behavior of such a system. So when we have a full rank coefficient matrix, then we'll be left only with the trivial solution. And of course, the trivial solution is not interesting at all. But if we have a rank deficient coefficient matrix, then we'll have infinitely many number of non-trivial solutions. So the basic idea is, once you're given a system of homogeneous equations, you first record the coefficient matrix, and then using row operations, you reduce it to the echelon form. And in this first example, we have three equations in three unknowns. So the coefficient matrix is a square matrix. And once you reduce it to the echelon form, you'll find that it's a full rank, which means that this system of homogeneous equations has got only the trivial solution, which is the 0, 0, 0 vector. The next problem has got 4 equations in 4 unknowns, and let us see what will be the nature of this system. So as before, we take the coefficient matrix and then use row operations to reduce it to the echelon form. So one has to be careful because it has to be solved in a very systematic way. Taking the leading A11 element, you reduce the elements below that to zeros. Then you move to the next pivot element along the diagonal and then reduce the elements below that to 0. In this problem, you will find that in stage 2, below the 802 element, you get both zeros. And you find that row 3 and row 4 have both been reduced to 0 rows. So from this, we can conclude that the rank of the coefficient matrix is 2, which is much less than the number of unknowns. So the rank of A will be 2. And then let us see how to get a solution. Remember, whenever the coefficient matrix is rank deficient, we can get infinitely many non-trivial solutions. So the solutions are embedded in the first 2 rows in the echelon form. And the number of free variables in this case will be n minus rank. Here n is 4 and the rank is 2. So 4 minus 2 is 2, which indicates that among the 4 variables x, y, z, and w, we can choose the last 2 variables z and w as free variables and give them some k1 and k2 as arbitrary real numbers, and then by back substitution work out x and y. So you will find that the solution vector x, y, z, and w have been expressed in terms of the free variables k1 and k2. And because k1 and k2 can be freely chosen from the set of real numbers, we can conclude that this is a solution vector not just representing one, but infinitely many solutions. So this is the procedure by which one can understand the process of finding out solutions of homogeneous system of equations. And the system of homogeneous equations with m is equal to n is very important in understanding the matrix eigenvalue problem, which will be explained in the lectures to come.